Thank you. If you'll all rise and place your hand over your heart, right hand over your heart. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. And that leads us to informational items. First, we have our registration report read by Rebecca Cooksey, Assistant Superintendent of Innovation and Technology.
Good evening. Okay, it works. As of today, we have 12,255 students registered, which means they've completed their paperwork. We have 13,517 students enrolled. Those could be children who have rolled over from the last year. So that means 91% of our students have completed the registration for next year and are ready to go for the school district, which is a really good number. We're way further along than we usually are.
I'm sorry, Rebecca, what was the second number? You said 12,255.
And then we have 13,517 students enrolled. And this is just UTK through 8th grade. I did not include preschool.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Next, we have our budget update by Isabel Altatora, Director of Fiscal Services. Test 1, 2.
Good evening. In the 2023 45-day budget position, I'm going to be grateful for questions report. I'm very excited. I wanted to share with you the great news. We learned the governor budget adoption that he's actually giving us a second tool to mitigate the loss of ADA. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background of what is it that applies to the Lancaster School District. When COVID started, they wanted the school district, the elementary school district, to offer independent study. And all of the districts were very hesitant because it was something new, first of all, to measure how the ADA was going to be determined, how we're going to determine the completion of the packages for the students, what laws were we have to provide to comply with the program. And Lancaster School District was actually innovative and we jumped right ahead. And our excellent team of educators and people, we all were working together and we implemented the program. And it was in place the program after October 1st, 2021 for the one. We adopted and implemented policies and procedures, and we also offered to all of the students that were required in this report. Little we know, when we have to prepare our APA for teachers, we learned that we were going to have suffering a decrease in ADA because we have 1,555 students enrolled into the independent study at our program. Therefore, we have to do a special report which Dr. Briggs assisted us, and we decreased our ADA at that time to 540 students. We were already decreased because of COVID. But we stayed still, and then the governor came back with initial budget would be allowed us to use the 3-year average, I think the number of represents the initial budget. And well, we have a little bit of mitigation in the 12 of ADA. Now, at the budget question, he comes up and he said, well, the district does a great. Implement the independent study, they will have something to do to mitigate even more the ADA. And so Lancaster School District is one of them. We have over independent studies at the October 1st. We have adopted and implemented written independent study policies, and we offer independent study for the students that work for the component. So with that said, I will go over with you for what does that mean to our district. Understand, okay, in 1920, you're going to use your student enrollment and your ADA. We all know that 1920 was one of our highest years. Remember? If I go what 15, 14, 15, and then 1920 we were the highest. And then 2021, it was all harmless. So therefore, the governor said, we're not going to pay attention to that one. We're going to use that one because it's exactly identical or the same as 1920. And then we're going to go into the 21-22. So what we do is the enrollment in 1920 is 14,332. Our ADA is 13,499. Therefore, our percentage is 9.4%. If we go to the 21-22,
If we go, no, it's okay. I'm used to this microphone. I sing at church. If we go with the 21-22 rate, the enrollment is 13,755, and the ADA, it was 12,220.44. Therefore, our percentage or our rate will be 89%. Now, the governor is telling us we can use the highest of those 2 years. So now we can do 94%. That represents for us 709. I don't see this figure, I'm sorry. 709.26 ADA increase. Yes, so now our new ADA P2 for 21-22 is 12,929.70. And you guys will think, Maria, but why are you talking about 21-22 when it's already gone? Well, because our P2 for 21-22 has to do with our LCFF funding for 22-23. So let me take you next to what does that mean to the Lancaster School District. So I'm going to go back to the average. Remember the average before this adopted budget, it was on 1920, our P2 was 13,499.55. Then we have hold harmless, which is identical, 13,499.55. And then we have our actual P2, which was 12,220.44. I built our budget that I presented to you at 13,073.18 ADA. Now, with this second tool that we can take advantage, the actual for 1920 is the same, 13,499, hold harmless, the same. Now, the COVID relief ADA to enrollment went up to 12,929.70. Therefore, our average is 13,309.60. Maria, but you said the increase is 700. Well, yeah, indeed, but it's an average. So you divide it into the 3 years, and our actual increase is by 236.42 ADA. Let's go to the dollars, because that's what I want to talk about. The unrestricted revenues, we know that's our biggest bucket, right? Is the LCFF, local control funding funds that we received from the state. I build a budget with the LCFF at 169.50 as a revenue. With the adopted budget, it's changed to 186.80 million. Now we have an increase of 17.30 million. Do you guys remember a deficit spending of 17.11 million that was giving us a heart attack? Well, gone. Yay! And it's unrestricted, so we are in a very good place right now. I didn't prepare a multi-year projection,
because I have to wait until the first interim comes. But I wanted to share this with you because it's fantastic and I'm so excited. And I know that you guys will be too. The other revenues are not affected at all on the unrestricted bucket. Now, on the restricted bucket, the governor also gives us 3 different programs, which one of them we are part, which is the ELOP, Extended Learning Opportunity. We were funded or projected to be funded at 11 million. Well, now we're funded at 22,500,000. Yes, so now we have, it's restricted, but it's ongoing. And so now we have also an increase on the restricted bucket of 12.5 million. So that's going to help us a lot. I didn't, like I said, I wish I could prepare the multi-year projection, but I just want you to be at peace because we are in a good position. Any questions?
That is great news. Fantastic. Wow. I'm speechless.
It's because we did the right thing. That's why we did the right thing for our kids.
Yes. Because we always do the right thing for our children. And even though it was uncertain and it was scary and it was like, how are we going to do it? And then we were punished with 40 ADA. At the end, it was good intentions and everything went well. So congratulations, because it's all about you and your administrators. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great news. That is fantastic. And that's all we have for presentations. Next, we have our individual action items, human resources. Item 11A, we have approval of coordinator of health and community school services.
Good evening. No, I turn it on. Good evening. I don't sing at church, so don't expect anything out of this microphone and me. Tonight, we are going to bring to you the coordinator of health and community services, and we'd like to recommend Brian Hook, who served 21 years with RN experience and served as a school nurse in Lancaster for the last 7 years. And Brian has his RN and school nurse services credential, but it actually makes him kind of a pink unicorn, I think, with sparkly wings. I mean, it's just so rare, especially in HR right now where we've got nobody, but we've got him. So we served as the lead nurse in Lancaster School District, and among other leadership activities, he's facilitated our staff COVID-19 vaccination campaign. And so we're confident he will do a great job in this capacity, and we'd like to submit him for your approval.
Very good. And with that, do we have a motion? So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Giles, second by Mrs. Grooms. And all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Brian, we love to think about it. You tell me if you came with it. Not that.
Might as well. It's part of the fun.
So I'm Brian. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. It's much appreciated. And this is my beautiful daughter, London, and my son, Scott. My wife would have loved to have been here tonight, but she had to go to Westside's back to school night. She's a teacher.
Oh,
So,
yep.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Next, we have addressing the board. Individuals who wish to address the board may complete a speaker card and present it and any supporting documents to the deputy superintendent. Personal information such as a student, parent, guardian's name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, or other directory information as defined in Ed Code 49061 may be excluded from the minutes of the meeting by submitting a written request to the superintendent. The board president shall recognize individuals who wish to speak. Individuals wishing to present testimony to the board concerning specific items on the agenda may do so once that item has been moved, seconded, and is on the floor for discussion. Time limits of 3 minutes per person and 20 minutes per item shall be allowed. Board Bylaws 9322. Board members may ask questions for clarification purposes. However, no action may be taken and no discussion may take place on an item not on the posted agenda per the Brown Act. Do we have comments from PTA? CSCA?
Good evening. My name is Christina Wilson, and I'm here representing PSEA for the negotiations chair. And I would just like to say thank you for submitting our sunshine, my board meeting. Sorry we're not here representing it, and we look forward to negotiations for the next school year.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. We look forward to it. Next, we have Cal.
And Ms. Whipple couldn't be with us tonight, but she did send a message, and I'd like to read it. She said on behalf of TAL, she would like to say that we are all looking forward to a successful year of positive experiences for all of our students and families.
Great.
Also, that they're happy to hear about the positive financial information. That's
Great, thank you, Ms. Whipple. Thank you for that input from Tao. Next, we have comments from the audience.
No comments.
No comments this evening. Okay, next, we have our consent agenda items. Superintendent, items 13A to 13E. Do we have a motion?
So, second.
Moved by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mrs. Grooms. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry 4-0. Next, we have items 14A to 14H, consent agenda items, business. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Grooms, second by Mr. Giles. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry 4-0. Next, we have item 15A to 15U, consent agenda items, educational services. Do we have a motion?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Nguyen,
Second.
second by Mrs. Grooms. Any discussion?
These are mainly yearly carryovers, correct? That carry over year to year.
Especially the ones that that are UL that what you're referring to?
I was for the MOUs.
Yes.
Those are all carryovers year to year.
I kind of had a question about the different local agencies we have that help with counseling services and so forth. And I was wondering how that works. So do they kind of match up with different schools and then help with those schools, or?
I happen to know that from my past employment. These are largely paid by the Department of Mental Health, and the agencies have to apply to get that certification, and then they can offer, through an MOU, offer those services to us. And it's a way for them to reach into the community most effectively, since we see our kids and know who needs to do that. But it's largely paid by the Department of Mental Health.
And we match the.
And I was wondering, is Penny Lane still a part of that? Or I wasn't sure.
We do work with many.
Oh, okay.
Or still coming. Yes, it's still open.
Oh, good. Yeah. I know they've been a great help. So I'm glad to see that we have, yeah. So good to see we have these services. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry 4-0. Next, we have items 16A to 16B, consent agenda items, human resources.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Giles, second by Mr. Nguyen. Any discussion?
I see we're staying even, Mike. We have 7 gains and 7 losses of teachers. Well, that's a net gain of 0, so we're okay. We haven't lost more than we gained. As is everyone. You're correct, everyone.
It's a good time to be a teacher. So any students out there going to teaching? Okay, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry 4-0. Next, we have items 17A to 17B, consent agenda items, innovation and technology services. Do we have a motion?
Move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mrs. Grooms. Any discussion?
Rebecca, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't ask you about hop, skip, and drive.
Yeah, it's a cute name, isn't it? It's a transportation service for our homeless students. Sometimes they live far away from their school of origin, and we're required to get them to their school of origin. So it's a transportation service for those children who are not able to catch the regular buses that we have.
I saw that when I read the information, and I was also hoping that this is a kind of service that we could rent out for other items, other activities that we might need buses or transportation for.
Well, we try to use the buses as much as we can because that's our contract. However, we can transport families that could come to the Welcome Center to get immunizations. We've done that before, or families that don't have transportation to come over and do their registration. So we have used it for other things, but it's mainly for our homeless students.
Okay.
I know the foster agency uses it too. I believe Trish uses it sometimes.
Great name. Yeah.
You got to understand, I was asking that question because of the Edwards Air Show, and is there a way that we can get students to the air show?
We're working on buses for that because these are single drivers that take 1 or 2 kids, not buses. So, but we have a plan for that. I think we're going to be able to get all of our kids there that are wanting to go.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Just got to put so excited to have an air show this year. That's great. Okay, any further questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motions carry 4-0. And that leads us to comments from the board and superintendent. Start with Mrs. Grooms.
All right, it's my pleasure. I spent most of the day yesterday at the orientation for the Antelope Valley Schools Transportation Agency. We had all of our drivers there, and we are still short about 17 drivers, but we have a class of 26 that are in training, which would make a tremendous difference for us. The great news, this is the first year that we will have the Smart Tag program fully implemented. This is a bus pass that the student uses, and basically it tells us where that child is once they enter the bus, whether they got off, at what stop they got off, what stop they got on. And there's a parent portal that already parents are finding that even without instruction about it, that they can check where is my child and they can see that he's on that bus and the bus is 3 streets away or 4 streets away. This is the first year we've been fully rolled out with this. We had planned to do this in fall of 21. Yes, fall of 21. So we're a year behind thanks to COVID, but it's very exciting. I was living in the Fresno area when the school bus was kidnapped at Chowchilla, and they buried the bus. And it's a recurring nightmare for me. I've never forgotten about that. And this is the only possible way that we can make sure that we know exactly where our kids are. The drivers have the information. They have much better instruction, turn by turn, of where to go on their route so that they get exactly to that child's house with the right side of the door on the right side of the street. It's an amazing software jigsaw puzzle, and they've taken quite a while to do this. But the opportunity of preventing issues it's tremendous. We'll know where our children are. I did want to say I miss Sam Hume. There you are. Okay. Sam, I'm ready for more data. I know you haven't had certain testing and things, but I know you're the data man, and I really would like to have more data on what we're seeing trend-wise with attendance, the impact of maybe COVID outbreaks in certain schools. Give me some numbers on anything that you like. I'm just ready for more because you explain things so clearly I didn't know I needed to know. So I just wanted to say, Sam, I miss you. And that's all I have today.
Thank you. Keith? Okay, thank you. Got to attend the new teacher orientation today. That was virtual, but looked like it was very successful and very good job. And I got to listen to that for a few hours while I was trying to multitask and do other stuff. But what I heard, it looked very nice. People are very excited about working for us and excited about the new year. So hopefully that continues on really well with that positive attitude. I'm excited about the coming up Amagosa Creek, I guess, welcome back event. I got at least one kid there. One's going there, and then I have also a grandchild that they both go there, so we get to go there for their welcome back event. They're having I think they're having like a barbecue with hot dogs and get to see the schedules. And then Monte Vista is doing theirs Monday morning, which my wife's going to go to. I can't get there at 8:00 in the morning because I'm doing a job, but we're excited to see some of the welcome back events to meet the teachers and see their schedules. So very excited about that. And with that, I'll pass it on. Thank you. Mr. Warren.
Well, thank you. I also,
Yes, you did.
Friday morning at 8:00 is Mariposa's back to school, and I think a little after that is Sierra Schools back to school. So we should hit them all. I didn't know about the hot dog one though, and
While supplies last.
oh, well then they don't want me there early. I attended the Welcome Wellness Center event over the weekend, and I want you to know that Dr. Marietti was there and spent quite a bit of time with Rose and her group. And a doctor working with the LA County has gotten Kaiser Permanente to come to our district Welcome Wellness Center 4 times a year to assist with shots, maintaining vision, all of the things that will help these families during their time of any type of hardship. The event was well attended. It was originally set up for 60. They ended up increasing it to 80 families. And there were people from all over the valley taking part in that. And the good thing was is seeing the children, and these are pre-K and 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 2-year-olds that were there and getting attention from all of our community parents at our different schools. So it was a great event and well attended. And I really have to hand it to Rose and her group. They did a fantastic job. There are so many good things going on right now in our district. Thank you, Isabella, for showing us the money. That's always a good thing. You showed us the money, and that gives every one of us an opportunity to continue to pursue the education for the students. We need that. We need that a lot, and I'm sure glad that it's continuing. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Mr. Wentz. First off, I'd like to say I hope everyone had a nice, restful summer. And I'm excited to see as I drive around to the different school sites, all the cars there as the teachers and classified and administrators are getting ready for their exciting school days ahead. It's neat to hear from Tal and the CSEA that they're excited for the upcoming school year. And also, excited about our busing, where they have the tracking system and that we have the uniform start times. I think that's going to really help our district as well. And that we worked out that with the high school district, because now the high school is going to be starting a little bit later. So I'm glad that is working out with us. Great budget report. And that definitely is reflecting on our district, how we were very proactive with the independent study program and the LAVA and expanding our homeschool programs during the COVID, and also with expanding our after school and before school and summer school programs. So glad to see that we're getting recognized for that, and it's definitely going to help us out in the future. I heard great reviews from summer school program. The kids were super excited and sorry to see it ending, but now they're going to go back to regular school, so I'm sure they'll be fine. But glad that worked out really well, and we were able to service all those kids for summer school too. So with that, Mr. Marietti.
Sure, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the community members that I spent time meeting with last week. I really appreciated their frankness, their insight, their passion, and just enjoy the ability to build relationships and create trust with our community. So that was something I really enjoyed last week. And I also want to acknowledge our summer of fun and what a wonderful job we did with our summer school program this summer, and the kids just really excited about being in school. And that, when you walk on a campus and kids are excited to be at school, you know you have something special. So I just want to acknowledge all the great work that everyone did on summer school. I got to also enjoy some time in a new teacher orientation, and it took me back to 1993 when a young, skinny kid with a full head of hair walked into a class. I'm talking about me. It reminded me of just the excitement of being a new teacher and coming into a classroom and setting it up, and just the anticipation of the new year. So really enjoyed spending time with them, and excited about the start of school on the 9th. And then finally, just having spent some time in the Wellness Center, just amazing the work we do. Not just in the Wellness Center, but just the work we do connecting kids to the resources and the services they need so they can be successful. But I do want to acknowledge Rose Juarez and her team for the work they did. It was just it just, what do they say, grew my heart 3 times. You know, it was just wonderful to experience that. So I'm really excited about getting to work and getting kids back in school and getting going. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And with that, we're at the end of our meeting. So we thank you, everyone, for a wonderful meeting, and have a great rest of your week. With that, we're going to adjourn at 6:44. Do we have a motion? So moved. Moved by Mr. Giles, second by Mr. Wynn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Have a good night, everyone. Man, if we didn't have that little microphone fiasco,
Yeah.
You might